Good afternoon. It's Friday, February 24th, tonight on Nebraska Nightly. The Ohio train derailment and what investigators are still looking into.
And how a UNL student is helping people in need affected by the Turkey and Syria earthquake.
And an increased interest in fitness on UNL campus.
This is Nebraska Nightly.
Live from the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Thanks for joining us on a cold day here in Lincoln. I'm Haley Ryerson.
And I'm Rebecca Heckel. Before we get to our other stories, we have some breaking news from the athletic department. Husker Volleyball will host an exhibition match with 4 teams from around the state at Memorial Stadium this summer. After much success from the Garth Brooks concert in 2021, Husker Athletics hopes to draw the same big crowd as before.
The day will start between Wayne State and the University of Nebraska-Kearney. After that, the Huskers take center stage against the UNO Mavericks. Following those matchups, an unknown artist is set to perform on the Tom Osborne Field. Nathan Hawkins will have more with sports later.
And according to authorities, 900,000 people are currently living in tents across the region. It is only a temporary measure, but for now, it is the only home many people have. There is a real sense of urgency and growing pressure on the Turkish government and on the international community to continue to provide further support for those who have been made most vulnerable by this earthquake.
That hit this month, many are wondering how they can help with the situation. Nebraska Nightly reporter Jackson Atwell sat down with the UNL student and how students can show their support.
Today I'm speaking with Hanafi Atkan. He is the president of the Turkish Student Association, and he is currently doing a clothing drive here at the university for people affected by the earthquake in Turkey and in Syria. How are you today, Hanafi?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. So, why are you doing a winter clothing drive specifically? How does that help people affected by the earthquake?
Well, we are doing this winter clothing drive because the recent earthquake in Turkey has left many people without adequate clothing and shelter, particularly as winter weather sets in. And by doing so, we hope to provide some relief to those people who have been affected by the earthquake.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
What specific kinds of clothing are you looking for?
We are looking for all kinds of warm clothing donations, including coats, jackets, sweaters, hats, gloves, blankets, and anything that would keep those people warm in these cold days.
So,
Jackson for that story. Here's a first check at the weather with Sydney Thomas. Sydney, how's it looking?
Thank you, Haley. Now, as the spring season is coming up, a lot of us may be wondering if we're going to see severe weather like we usually do. Well, as for this weekend, on Sunday night, we're going to see some occasional rain as well as some thunderstorms with a low of 40 degrees, and then Monday morning, some more occasional rain with 52 degrees. Now, as for wind, it's definitely going to pick up on Monday morning with winds up to 44 miles per hour. Those can bring in some thunderstorms, but it shouldn't be too severe. Now, for more severe weather, we aren't seeing anything until about May, which is a little unusual for the typical Nebraska season, but we'll just wait and see. Back to the table with Rebecca and Haley.
All right, thanks, Sydney. With winter weather, it makes the job for Lincoln firefighters more difficult. There are more precautions firefighters have when dealing with adverse conditions.
Fire. Obviously, water puts out fire. Water freezes when it gets cold out. So we have to continuously keep our hoses open so the water doesn't freeze. If the water freezes, we don't have the tool that we need to put out the fire, and B, it can freeze up in the fire engines and cause damage. So we have to make sure that we keep the water flowing at all times, plus cold weather increases like slips and trips.
Weather also affects the time firefighters can get to the scene and a fire and the amount of equipment and vehicles that they bring.
And mobile devices have made an impact on the way that consumers access the news. Social media is shifting the way we get our information and how it is interpreted. We can see the effects that have taken place when it comes to young people learning about important topics online. UNL professor Casey Richter says a concern is whether information is verified and taken in context.
Students and even my own children is they want to pursue a topic that might be newsworthy, but they're going to follow like a TikTok creator who talks about their opinion about that news topic. But the problem is they don't have any verified information or context to be able to say, okay, now I want to get a take on it. But they don't have that base to start with. They're just skipping right to the take.
And Richter says we have to be better judges of accuracy on what we read on social media.
Pilates, along with several other fitness classes, have been taking over the internet. Nebraska Nightly's Kristen Haskell reports that the trend has headed straight for the University of Nebraska Fitness Center.
Here at the UNL Rec Center, there's a noticeable increase in participants compared to last semester in what is known as group fitness classes.
Absolutely. Like at any point in time when we have a Pilates class on the schedule, it gets full within like a matter of like a day or two that booking begins to open. And it's definitely more so than I've seen in any other semester. Right now we have 3 Pilates classes that are offered on the recurring schedule, which happens on like a weekly basis. And those classes just fill up very, very quickly. Definitely finding it to be a popular format, which is really excellent to see.
Robert started with the group fitness program 4 years ago and added Pilates onto her list of certifications 2 years later. Robert says students have been influenced by social media.
Absolutely. I mean, you see all the time on social media lately with like, whether you're on like Instagram or TikTok or something like that. I think Pilates is just a great way for people to be able to exercise maybe like at home or in like an environment where maybe they don't have access to equipment. So lots of the movements that we do here, you know, equipment is added on as a little bit of a challenge, but if you're at home and you don't have that equipment with you, you're still able to get that good workout in that you're kind of looking for to feel good the rest of your day.
With waiting lists, the students are happy to get into the Pilates classes.
I've really liked them so far. I think they're really fun. It is a little bit hard to get into them since they're like overly booked all the time. But yeah, I really enjoy them.
Fitness classes are available. Kristen Haskell, Nebraska Nightly.
Thanks, Kristen. If you want to check out some of the fitness classes for yourself, you can visit the UNL campus recreation site for more information. Now on to the first check of the weather with Sydney Thomas. All right, we're going to go ahead and break right after this.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today. Don't let it happen to other Big Ten schools. Go to saveourdinos.org to learn more.
Well, it's been freezing these past couple of days, but I'm really glad the ice didn't stick around. Let's get a full check of the weather with Carmelo Latuca.
It has been quite cold, Rebecca, but hopefully we're looking at a weekend warm-up on the way where we'll jump into the lower to mid-50s. Currently, we're looking at a temperature of 23 degrees. It's mostly sunny. That light wind out of the east is making it feel like, though, it is in the upper teens. As we take a look at the almanac, we can see this morning we did hit a low of 1 degree, and our average low is 23 degrees. If we could see from the almanac, we could see that our average high is 44 degrees, but we're 20 degrees below normal, sitting at 23 degrees for a high today so far. Moving on to the surface features, we can see that in our area right now, we're looking at high pressure over our area, but I think off the west coast, this is our next weather maker. It's going to provide the rain that Sydney alluded to earlier. We could be looking at 3/4 to 1.5 inches of rain. As we take a look at tonight, we can see that we're going to drop to 14 degrees. Light winds out of the northeast should keep it not too chilly, and the wind chills should stick into the upper teens. And as we move on to tomorrow, we're going to see 30-degree temperature in the morning, but that will quickly warm up into the lower 50s. Breezy southwest winds, though, will make it a little bit of a hassle. If we take a look at the 7 day, we can see that we're going to see low to mid-50s both Saturday and Sunday, with rain showers on Sunday leading to heavy rain Sunday night. And as we head into the early parts of next week, 50s look to be across the board. Might drop into the mid-40s next Thursday, but I do think we'll jump back up to 50 on Friday. So hopefully that cold chill is gone for at least a week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you so much, Carmelo. I can't wait for that somewhat warmer weather.
Oh my goodness, it'll be so nice. President Biden addressed the world on Tuesday from Warsaw, Poland, as today marks 1 year since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This came shortly after Russian President Vladimir Putin said Russia will pull back from the nuclear treaty in response to the surprise visit made on Monday to Kyiv. Biden's address was bigger than just a response to his Russian counterpart. It was a statement of values. He said they discussed how to support Ukraine with military, economic, and humanitarian assistance.
And the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is ordering Norfolk Southern to pay the bill in East Palestine, Ohio. 2 weeks ago, the derailment led to evacuations and concerns over contamination. Gloria Pazmino has the latest from Ohio.
Press briefing. During a press briefing Tuesday, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine was critical of laws on the books that do not require train companies to notify local governments when hazardous materials are passing through the area. Caught in the middle. As more reports of health problems emerge and officials try to assure people the air and water in this community is safe. The cleanup order, which is legally binding, will require the company to identify and clean the contaminated soil and water resources and reimburse the EPA for services provided to residents and local businesses. So far, the soil under the railroad tracks at the derailment site has been determined to be contaminated. Meanwhile, officials open a new clinic Tuesday that will serve residents impacted by the train derailment. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Apologies for those technical difficulties. Norfolk Southern says they want to do what's right for the residents of East Palestine, issuing a statement saying they'll be there for the long term.
Nathan Hawkins has the latest with Nebraska sports after the break.
Hey, hey, go home! These racist laws have got to go away! Hey, go home! These racist laws have got to go!
Toilets can use 5 to 7 gallons per flush, making it the main source of water use in a home. You can lose more than 20 gallons of water a day from a single drippy faucet. Kitchen faucets use about 1.5 to 2 gallons per minute, whereas older faucets use more water. Wasting water is wasting time. Stop water waste now.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Nebraska athletics had a big week, including talks about Nebraska volleyball being played at Memorial Stadium. What? Nathan Hawkins has the latest.
Volleyball is bigger in Nebraska than just about anywhere else this fall. The stage will be bigger than ever before. Governor Jim Pillen was in attendance to declare August 30 Volleyball Day, a celebration of the sport's impact in the state to take place in the biggest venue in the state. Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook spoke about what that means for volleyball in Nebraska. Football and volleyball in the state share a key common thread that speaks to the weight of the fanfare in the state. Incredibly large sellout streaks. Volleyball streak is over 300, football is 389, but the Bob Devaney Center hosts 8,000. Memorial Stadium hosts 85,000. One thing is certain, Nebraska is thinking history. It's worth noting that they won't officially count attendance
nationally.
It's worth noting that they won't officially count attendance until the end of the second set. But one thing is certain, fans will probably stick around to stay for history. Well, let's head to the team that will remain indoors for the time being. Husker Hoops remains hot. On Sunday, they took down Maryland in overtime, extending their winning streak to 3 games. It was the first time since 2019 that the Huskers took down the Terrapins, and just the second time in Hoiberg's tenure that Nebraska has won 3 games in a row. In other words, this season has been filled with something that the last few years haven't seen much of: positives. The game on the court has led to talk off the court, something that Lincoln native and Nebraska senior point guard Sam Griesel takes pride in.
I remember my dad brought this up about a month ago when I was like 10 years old or so, and I told him, or asked him, why Nebraska fans only care about football. And he said, well, you know, that's just how it is. And I told him that's going to change when I get there. And so that's something that's kind of been brought back up, and it's just cool to hear the buzz around Nebraska basketball again.
The buzz could continue to grow as the Huskers have only 3 games left in the regular season. And when we look at the Big Ten standings, we can see what the postseason path might look like for Nebraska. They're 1 game behind Penn State and Wisconsin for a first-round bye in the Big Ten tournament, and they can certainly help their case tomorrow with a win against Minnesota. Women's hoops traveled to Champaign, Illinois on Wednesday, looking to hold their losing streak with a win against 25th-ranked Illinois. We take you to the second quarter. Huskers in control, and Sam Hybe sinks it in the final seconds of the first half. Huskers lead by 10 at the break. Third quarter, the connection from down under. Jazz Shelley to Izzy Bourne for the finish. Bourne finished with a double-double. Huskers running away with it, and Jazz Shelley downs a 3, and the Huskers down the Fighting Illini resoundingly, 90-57, perhaps their most complete game of the season to snap the 4-game losing streak. Shelley led all scorers with 26, and Nebraska heavily controlled the glass. Huskers shot 59% from the field, and that's a winning recipe. With their season winding down, let's take a look at where the Big Reds stand in the Big Ten rankings. Huskers sit firmly at 8th in the conference, just 1 game left. That's Sunday's Senior Day matchup with Northwestern. Not much room for error, though, for Nebraska, as ESPN has them as one of the first 4 teams missing out on the NCAA tournament. Big Ten tournament action begins next week, and the Huskers will get their final chance to prove their case. Well, Husker baseball managed to escape the winter weather of last weekend, but they couldn't escape San Diego with a win. Over 4 games, the Huskers allowed 38 runs, walking 20 batters and hitting 10. Coach Will Bolt said he didn't think the squad was very competitive in San Diego, but he said he believes early season losses can become valuable lessons.
I heard this a long, long time ago when I first got into coaching. It was the losses at the beginning of the year, the L's, they can stand for learning, you know, if you treat it the right way. And I thought we did learn a lot about our team. You know, we're gonna have to get some things sorted out, certainly, but you know, we're gonna continue working at it, and this team's they're gonna have resiliency.
The baseball team can try to turn some L's into W's this weekend with a 4-game series against South Alabama. It was just a few short weeks ago that the state legislature proposed LB 168. Nebraska Nightly's Trey Marler reports if passed, the bill could flip the world of sports betting in the state upside down.
If LB 168 is passed, it will allow betting on university athletic events to take place in the state for the first time, and legitimate betting means more money will go to state tax dollars. A winner if the bill passes will be the Nebraska casinos. The gaming houses are eager for the opportunity with sports betting, and one casino operator says it's something the customers have been waiting on for some time.
Sports betting, though, it's going to rapidly increase the amount of people there. I think every day we get the question while people are sitting at the bar, hey, can we throw a sports bet? But the answer is no. From here on out, though, I mean, it sounds like that's going to be illegal, so I think people are going to be pretty excited and spending some more time at the casino.
Another area question that comes with a potential bill, how will this affect the athletes? After sitting down with one former Husker National Championship running back, he says for a majority of them, it will just be another day at the office.
Depends on the athlete. Every athlete is different. But I would say for the majority of the athletes, though, no matter the sport, they were probably, and especially for guys and girls that were really focused on their game, it wouldn't be a bother to them. They'll just kind of laugh it off, like, oh, that's cool, and then go about their day, get ready for the real game plan.
Legislators did meet last Monday to discuss the future of the bill and the possible effects it can have on the community. Reporting from the state capitol, I'm Trey Marler, Nebraska Nightly.
Thanks, Trey. An interesting development that we'll keep our eye on for sure.
And Cocaine Bears, Legally Blonde, and beyond. We'll hear more from entertainment after the break.
Don't let it happen to other Big Ten schools. Go to saveourdinos.org to learn more.
Hey, hey, go home! These racist dogs have got to go! Hey, hey, go home! These racist dogs have got to go!
Well, it's a big weekend in Lincoln, and Evan Donlinger is here with all the details. Evan, what do we have going on this weekend in the world of entertainment?
Thanks, guys. We've got quite the slate here for you. UNL students are making a difference for Children's Hospital, and you can too. UNL will host Huskerthon tomorrow on campus. Huskerthon is a 13.1-hour dance marathon in which UNL students and Children's Hospital patients come together and celebrate the fundraiser. The event will include dancing, craft opportunities, talent show, and more. Visit events.unl for more information. Now, for fans of Bach, and no, I don't mean the composer, come down to the Lincoln Pub Beer House Meis Schauler in the Haymarket for the Bach Fest. Taking place on the patio outside of Beer House, people of all ages are invited to celebrate German heritage with Bach beer, pretzels, sausages, and more. As a part of the festivities, the celebration will include musical performances from Barry Boyce Band and Angie Kriz and the Polka-Tunes. The event is free and available for all ages, but IDs are required for drinking. For a crash course on how to get into Harvard Law through musical montage, Legally Blonde is at the Lead Center through Saturday. Follow the story of Elle Woods as she enrolls in the prestigious law school to get back with her ex-boyfriend and discovers a few skills along the way. What, like it's hard? Visit the Lead Center website to purchase tickets and for more information. Now, from one theater to another, the incredible story of a black bear that ate $2 million worth of cocaine hits theaters this weekend. Simply titled Cocaine Bear, The film takes place in the forests of Georgia in 1985, while based on a true story, explores the dramatization of what would have happened if the bear had wreaked havoc on the locals in a drug-fueled rampage. While we are not advocating for this, if an apex predator hopped up on cocaine sounds like your kind of party, check out Cocaine Bear in theaters now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks. Legally Blonde is my favorite musical, so I'm so excited to see the new movie coming out in 2023.
The original is my comfort movie, so I hope it's as good as the new one. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Nebraska Nightly.